Welcome back to the Graham Stephan Show. So I think it's no surprise that personal finance has become a lot trendier over these last few years. People have been finally taking an interest to saving money and investing. Personal finance has gotten a big spotlight, but a lot of this started more than 20 years ago with the OG, the original Gail Vass Oxley. It's a very hard to pronounce name. Anyway, she had this TV show that is absolutely ruthless for people that just are spending way too much money. And I wanted to highlight this episode here. It's just titled, Husband Caught Red-Handed. So with that said, you guys, I want to comment on this as soon as you hit the like button and subscribe. That's it. That's all I ask for. And in return for doing that, I'll do my best to answer as many of your comments as possible. So thank you so much. And now let's begin.
I racked my credit card up for gambling.
Well, he's a total loser.
Greg's gambling scares the life out of me.
Nothing.
You are putting everything at risk.
I don't necessarily like you.
You can never gamble again.
I'm still gonna play poker.
All right, so two things. Number one, it's funny that I'm watching this here in Las Vegas. Like, the one place, if you're gonna gamble, you're gonna probably go to Las Vegas. Number two, though, a lot of people say that poker's not gambling because it's a skill thing. Yes, there's an element to chance, but skill will always override chance in a game of poker if you can bluff, if you know the hands, if you know what you're doing. So poker is something that I feel like is toeing the line. Yes, you're risking money, but there's a lot of skill involved behind it as well.
My name's Carla, I'm 32, and I'm a customer service team lead.
I'm Greg, and I'm 33 years old, and I work for a computer company.
Greg and I met on a dating website.
I saw this picture of Carla. Wow, that's exactly the girl I'm looking for.
You know, it's funny that back then dating websites were like the new thing. It's like,
Oh, you met somebody online? That's weird. Why can't you just meet them in person?
but now it's like, oh, you met on a dating website. Why not just on Tinder or Bumble or all the other dating apps that are out there? So it's transitioned from dating websites where you make this whole long profile to like these apps where it's just like, it's as basic as possible of like right or left. If you know right to left, you're good. You could be on a dating app now.
Our attitudes towards money are completely different.
I don't have any debt.
Our relationship was tough because I was hiding my problem.
I noticed that he really didn't have any money left. So it should be $1,200 less. How does that make sense?
I thought I found this magical money-making machine.
Oh no. So this seems like a disaster waiting to happen. So the gambling is really just the symptom of him having much bigger issues with finances. She's great with money, and probably next to her he feels inferior. And because of that, and because of his carefree attitude of just, I'm gonna spend whatever, I'll get a credit card, it doesn't really matter, it's clashing with her. He's obviously embarrassed by it, so he thinks, oh, well, if I just gamble and I win the money, then I'll make enough to pay for the things that I want to. The problem is that he's probably not good. See, gambling's only a problem if you lose. If you don't lose, there's no problem.
Every day at lunch, he would be going to slot machines. He would borrow money from relatives.
By the end of my slot machine gambling career, I had got myself into debt $33,000. All I want to do is pay less on my line of credit.
This is insane. How does she not leave him? After he gambles $33,000, he admits that he has a money problem and then goes and gambles to try to win it back. That's slot machines of all things. Slot machines have like a 15 to 18% house advantage, meaning for every dollar you put in, you're losing 15 to 18 cents on every spin. It makes absolutely, it's illogical. It's illogical if you ever use slot machines. Personally, just do it if you want to have fun. If you want to light the money on fire, but you want to have fun doing it, put it in a slot machine, fine. But to make money, it's not a viable money-making opportunity.
Greg's gambling scares the life out of me. I don't see how I could have a joint account with him, and I think probably one child is all we're going to be able to afford, if that.
I hope Gail can open Carla's mind with allowing me to spend my money.
Gail needs to come in and fix this because it's not working.
I'm shocked what she sees in him. Okay? Someone's got to say it. Why is she with this guy? She has a sea of options on these dating websites. Why him? Why the guy who gambles and is bad with money? Well, she's great with money. Maybe opposites attract. I just don't see redeeming qualities so far.
Greg's gambling problem cost him more than just money. It also cost him Carla's trust. Now he's on the straight and narrow, but their money troubles haven't gone away. Greg's play now, pay later attitude drives Carla crazy. Until they get their finances in sync, they're gambling with their future.
Buy now, pay later. She coined it here first. Now you hear that everywhere. So many companies are offering buy now, pay later like Affirm. But here it was 20 years ago. buy now, pay later.
Okay, so you applied to be on the show.
Yes.
Why?
Because I think that I was paying too much back to my debt.
Gosh. So he wants to go on the show thinking, I'm spending too much of my money paying down debt. I should be able to live a little bit. And if someone else sees the situation, they'll agree with me and say, oh, you know what? Yeah, she's being too hard on him. You could spend some more money. You could gamble a little bit more. You don't need to pay it off. To me, it just seems so silly that he even thinks that anyone would agree with him at this point.
We'll just play 5 cards. 1 change. I'm in for 1.
I'm in for 2.
And I'm going to fold.
So I have a pair of jacks. What do you have?
I don't have anything.
So you were willing to bet on nothing.
What if she dealt him a great hand, though? What if he had, like, a pair of aces and he goes all in? Her point would be completely void. So maybe they set this up, or she just dealt him enough until eventually he had a losing hand. He could be dealt a great hand. Maybe he's a great poker player, though.
You can never gamble again. If you ever gamble again, which is playing for money, you run for the hills, girl, because it's never going to get any better. It is time to pay up and get this behind you.
See, I'm never one for ultimatums in relationships, but this is the situation where I think it actually will help, okay? The gambling is causing all the problem. It's destructive. It's easy to get out of control. It's affecting her. Put that as a hard line in the sand. If you gamble again, the relationship's over. If he values the relationship over gambling, he will seek help. He'll do anything he can not to gamble again.
I don't want to have anything to do with his debt.
What would it take for you to have a joint account with Greg?
For him to have no debt and have gone some certain amount of time without gambling.
Yeah, I would say to join an account like that, no debt, 6 months of savings, and have done that for like 5 years. Because you could fake a year or 2, maybe 3 years. You can't quite fake 5 years. By 5 years, the truth is going to come out.
If you owe almost $24,000 for gambling, why did you think it was okay to beat Carla into submission on having money to play poker?
Because it was entertainment.
Yeah, oh gosh. I mean, in the back of his mind, he's thinking, all I need is the one winning streak and I'll be able to pay off the entire amount and then I'll be good. But the problem is that his winning streaks are not keeping up with the losses, which is just the math of gambling. The more you gamble, the bigger the losses get and the harder it's going to be for you to break even.
See this almost $2,600? As a family, this represents 40% of your income. Wow. None of that is rent or transportation or real food. 40% of your money gone like that. And you don't think you have enough money to put more money towards your debt repayment?
No, not when I didn't see it.
How does his future wife not see that? You would think that if she's good with money, which she obviously is, and she's looking over his accounts, why couldn't she spot that? Maybe she's not good about telling him, hey, you can't spend your own money like this. Which I get. You don't want to be, a parent to your spouse. But at the same time, it's like, this is a conversation she should be having. If she sees an issue, call it out.
Over the next few weeks, I'm going to give you a series of challenges to do. You do the challenges to my satisfaction, and I'll give you up to $5,000 to help you pay down this debt. You don't do the challenges, you don't have the right attitude, you don't get the money.
See, the problem is that these challenges are usually too easy. Like, one of the challenges might be,
Oh, just go a week without gambling. Go and save 40% of your income.
like, there's things that she does that make it almost impossible to fail. I've only ever seen one person not get it, and it was basically this bridal challenge where they had to spend less than like $50 for all the brides, and she spent like $55. So she like partially failed. It's so easy.
I have given you 2 sets of jars. I have split your variable spending $50 a week for food, $43.75 each for transportation, $25 a week for entertainment, and your last jar, $12.50 is other.
This is basically like the OG of cash stuffing, where you would take your salary for like the week or the month, you'd spread it out over that time frame, and then basically whatever was in those envelopes is the money that you could spend. Everything else you save automatically. And it really helps people to budget, because once the money is gone in the envelope and you could physically see it, it's gone. You can't spend any more than that. So it basically makes it impossible to spend more than what you allocate at the beginning of the month. Really helpful stuff.
The other step to this is you have to go and make more money. And I want you to make just over $900 a month more every month.
Here's the thing. Here's the way I think of it too, is that he obviously has the time to make an extra $900 a month because he's gambling so frequently. If instead of gambling, he just worked a part-time job or a side hustle, he could make more money than he ever would have made gambling, and he could pay down his debts and be productive at the same time.
My rough plan to make the $915 more per month is have a home poker game I will deal for my friends.
He can be dealing poker and be making money off of it.
That is a fantastic idea. How come I didn't even think about that? He's flipping the tables here. That is probably one of the smartest ideas I've ever heard. Like, I didn't even think about that. It's genius.
As a dealer at a poker game, he can mix business with pleasure. At a buck a hand, he can earn a couple of $100 a night.
It makes me a little bit nervous when he's dealing poker just because I know he really wants to be playing.
Imagine the cops come and just bust it. It's like an underground gambling ring. They arrest him. He's in jail. You know he's not going to gamble or spend a lot of money in jail. That's for sure.
You're a guy who works well under pressure. Want to know what your score was?
Yeah.
You scored 98.
Wow.
You had our highest score ever, which just tells me, Greg, you can really do what's needed to be done.
That's why he's good at poker, though. He is just predispositioned not to give in under pressure, not to fold too quickly, to have a lot of risk taking. So, like, if he could channel that into something productive, like being an entrepreneur, he could do quite well.
$1,700 a month towards debt repayment, you will be debt-free in 1 year, including your family and Carla.
Perfect.
The budget also includes $1,000 a month, which you can set aside for the wedding.
Big one is if he's going to stick to it. I think he can. I think him being a poker dealer could actually do quite well. It's exactly what he wants to do. He loves gambling. He could make money doing it. That's a productive way to go about his vices.
I think you did really well, and I have for you. I wonder, you get $5,000.
Awesome.
My approach was nagging Greg to pay back his debt. My approach obviously wasn't working, and Gail's approach definitely is working.
Let me know what you guys think. Personally, it seems like he's on the right track. It's whether or not he can stick to it. I don't think a week is long enough to determine if these habits are going to stick. You know, he's able to do it, but whether or not, like, a year from now, 2 years from now, 5 years from now, when he's out of debt, he has some spare money, is he going to get back into it? I don't know. So let me know what you guys think down below in the comments. As always, feel free to add me on Instagram, and don't forget that you could get some free stocks worth all the way up to a few $1,000s when you make any deposit using the paid affiliate link down below in the description. Enjoy. Let me know what stocks you get. Thank you so much, and until next time.